In our last video, we saw how our ExecuteAutomation reporting system's UI look like while we just started building with a small grid with a professional theme. It was a very plain and simple. But in order for our achievement to build our ExecuteAutomation reports look something like this, like in this particular page, we have a ExecuteAutomation reporting system image, and we have a menu bar, and we have some of the menu items in there, and there is a test report summary, and there is some of the option buttons, and there is some text boxes, and there is a cool grid as well. So in order to bring all these options, as we saw in our previous videos, we told that we need to have some of the JavaScript as well as CSS help as well. So in order for doing that, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go to our project, and I have already customized some of the code by just downloading some of the latest jQuery. At the same time, some of the CSS file which is required as a theme for our ExecuteAutomation reporting system UI. So for understanding how CSS works and how JavaScript works, it's completely out of the scope of this particular course. All we're going to do is just build the reporting system, and it is not that we have to deep dive into the CSS and JavaScript and how these things works, because it's going to completely deviate the course topic. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go over the errors folder, and here I'm just going to add some of the folders like this. You can see that I have added 3 folders like CSS, images, and scripts folder. So this folder actually contains some of the themes like CSS themes, and this theme actually has some of the CSS files like Pluto helper. And you can also see that within this images, I have some of the images like ExecuteAutomation reporting system banner, and there is some error favorite icon, and there is a tick mark image as well. We will be using them as well. And then we have a scripts folder. Within the script folder, we have a date function.js. As you saw in this particular screenshot, we have a date coming up like this, and this is because of this particular JS file. And there is a datetime picker CSS file because it requires a theme. And then it also has some of the jQuery UI, jQuery min, and custom min. And there is a extensions and jQuery actual file as well. So these are the different kinds of file that we will be using in our ExecuteAutomation reporting system, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm just navigating to my project, and this time the folders will not be displayed. The reason is because those are hidden and it's not added into the project yet. So I'm going to go and click this show all folders and files, and it brings me all the folders which we added, the CSS, images, and script. So I'm just going to include them into the project using this option, include in project. So it's been added, and now we are pretty much ready to use these particular CSS files. So what I'm going to do from this particular pretty normal grid, I'm just going to go to the source, and we're going to start working with the themes that we got. So for that, I have already written some of the code to just reference these CSS as well as these JavaScript file that we got right here into our head tag. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy these lines, and then I'm just going to paste it right here. I'm just going to save it, and let's give a title here because it doesn't have yet. So I'm just going to give a title as EARS, or otherwise called as ExecuteAutomation Reporting System. I'm just going to save it, and also let's add a theme for this. If you go to the designs right now, there is no big change other than a little text change here. But if we have to actually change the grid, then we need to remove these 4 colors and the grid lines options from this place. And let's copy the CSS class, which is actually the class coming from the theme that we defined right here. This guy, this theme, right? So I'm just going to paste it right here. I'm just going to save it. And now if I go to the design, you can see that we have a very cool theme available right here. And if I try to run this particular grid, you can see that this particular page has the theme rendered in this grid, and the grid also is fully occupying the page, automatically scaled. So if you scale this page maybe less, so automatically the theme will also be resized to the size of the page, right? So if I want to change this text a little bit, Then I have another line of code. So if I go to the source right here, and if I just copy this line and if I paste it right here, and let's remove this particular XML and S because currently the HTML5 doesn't support this. And now if I refresh this page, you can see that the font will be changed a little bit because it is actually coming from the Google's font. You can see like this, fonts.googleapi.com, and this has got a different font. So it's actually coming from there. So now a little bit our goal is trying to achieve. This particular grid is a little bit close to what we are looking right here. And now we have to add our menu bar and the menu items in our page. We also need to add the banner, which is nothing but our Execute Automation Reporting System banner in our page right here, and then the menu bar and then the menu item. So in order for that to be done, I'm just going to change a little bit on our code, very little bit in our code, mainly right here in this particular div. Instead of this particular h3 tag, I'm just gonna add a few lines of code, something like this, and then you can see that all the magics will happen. So what I'm gonna do, you can see that this particular div is a main logo which has an ID here, and this is the source of the image, which is nothing but images slash ea banner.png, so which is actually coming from right here, the images folder, and there is something called ea banner.png. So I'm just locating that. And then there's a ID called main navigation, and within this particular theme we have a class for the navigation bar with size as large. And then there is a menu title. You can give any title here like menu, and then there is a or you can give this menus, and then you can give the p1 navigation bars inner. This is one more class which is actually which will actually display the page's name, like index.aspx, which is the home page, and there is a merge report.aspx, which is kind of dummy page, right? And I'm just gonna save this completely. And now if I flip back to our page and if I try to refresh this particular page, you should see the banner and the menu, as you can see right here. So now we have the banner, which is nothing but our Execute Automation Reporting System banner, and then there is a menu bar, and as you can see, if I just hover here, it will also highlights, right? So there is a home page and there is a merge report. So if I click this home page, it will actually navigate to this particular index.aspx, but if I navigate to this merge report, we will get an exception because that page does not exist yet, right? So which is okay, we know what it is happening. So now it is very close to this particular dream of making our Execute Automation Reporting System. And the only thing which you need to add is some of these options like test report summary, and there is a filter options like test case ID, name search, date search, which we'll be doing in our next video.